A strange man suddenly burst into the restaurant, coughing violently. He ignored everyone's stares and made a beeline for the restroom. Other patrons looked on with disgust, but no one anticipated what was about to happen next. Just as a customer exited the restroom, there was a sudden gunshot, and the man collapsed to the floor. The atmosphere in the restaurant instantly turned tense, and people were gripped by sheer panic. Adding to the eeriness, the usually bustling street outside was now eerily empty. The chef shouted for everyone to take cover and tried to call the police, but his phone had no signal. Even the TV lost its connection. When things temporarily calmed down, they discovered that the man who had fallen was gone. Panic spread quickly. No one knew who the shooter was or what his motives were. The restaurant felt like a sealed cage. A retired cop stepped forward, suggesting that since a shooting had occurred, the killer might still be outside. However, another patron immediately countered, saying it could be a terrorist attack and the killer might be hiding among them. Perhaps his goal was to plant a bomb inside the restaurant before escaping. This explained why the crowds on the street had been hastily evacuated. The theory sounded plausible, and suspicion began to mount as everyone eyed each other warily, ratcheting up the tension. After a thorough search, they found nothing suspicious. Suddenly, strange noises came from the restroom. Cautiously, they opened the door and found the man who had been coughing earlier lying on the floor, convulsing. As everyone stood unsure of what to do, a truck pulled up outside the restaurant, and several heavily armed men wearing gas masks jumped out, lighting tires on fire at the entrance, releasing thick smoke. These individuals quickly left the scene, leaving chaos behind. At that moment, the TV signal returned, and the news reported that a fire had broken out at the restaurant, and the crowd had been evacuated with no casualties reported yet. But those in the know were filled with questions, wondering why the government was hiding the truth. Just then, a pair of large military boots appeared in front of them. Everyone turned around in horror to see the man who had been convulsing in the restroom standing there. Then he collapsed dead. Picking up the phone that fell from his hand, they discovered he was a soldier involved in some kind of virus research and had unfortunately contracted an unknown virus. Thus, the government had sealed off the restaurant to prevent the virus from spreading. Now, the few people inside the restaurant began to panic, realizing they might already be infected with this deadly virus.